I don't know why I'm getting emotional, guys. I'm pregnant and literally hormones are a beast. Like, I cry about everything. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I have some exciting news. It's not really news because you already know, but yes, I am pregnant, expecting my very first child. Oh man, I don't even know where to begin. There's so much that I have to talk about in this video, but I just want to say sorry that YouTube is the last social media platform that I'm announcing this on, just because I've had a lot going on in my life lately. I was finishing up school, and so I wasn't filming that much, and then school ended, you know, finals. I was not filming anything during finals week, and then after school ended, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back into filming, we're gonna do it. And then we had our gender reveal recently, like 2 weeks ago, and that was like a lot of planning and stuff. And then after that, I was like, okay, this is it, we're getting back into it. Y'all, I got the flu. Yes, I'm still kind of getting over it, but let me just say, having the flu while pregnant is not, it is not fun at all. So here I am. Still, I got like a little cough left, so it's nothing like too bad. I'm not like still contagious or anything, but God, he really brought me through, because that was tough. I felt like I wasn't gonna make it, you know. But yeah, anyways, to cut to the chase, in this video I am going to be talking about my personal experiences, because as y'all know, I am Christian and I am pregnant and I'm not married. So yeah, there's that. But I kind of just wanted to make this video and just kind of like put myself out there, because this is like my channel and I love doing YouTube. It's definitely one of my biggest passions, and I just don't want to like have a channel that I just want to be authentic with y'all, you know. I want to be transparent and honest, and not try and be someone I'm not, or like try and act like someone that I'm not. So that's really why I'm making this video. So yeah, it's just gonna be me talking about my experiences, and just basically a life update, and any other questions that y'all have, y'all can just leave them in the comments down below and I will be sure to answer them or make a video about them. I'm kind of wanting to do a question and answer with my boyfriend. So yeah, if that's something that y'all would be interested in seeing, leave a comment or some questions, and leave a thumbs up so that I know like that's what y'all would want to see from me on this channel. And yeah, so where do I even begin? Well, I guess I'll just start from the beginning. When I found out I was pregnant, actually guys, I made notes, because y'all, pregnancy brain is no joke. I forget everything, so I literally had to write down what I'm going to talk about so that I didn't miss any important details, you know. So I'm literally the corniest person ever. So yeah, I'm gonna just start from the beginning. So yeah, when I found out I was pregnant, it was the first day of school, my senior year, and I think it was August 26th, if I'm not mistaken. People have asked me like, did you know you're pregnant? Like, were you shocked? And honestly, I wasn't shocked. Like, I knew I was pregnant, because I hadn't had my period. Like, it had been like 10 days past when my period usually comes. And the reason I took a pregnancy test was so that I was for sure. Like, I didn't want to just assume. I was like, well, I'm just going to take a test so that I have like a for sure answer. And I took a test, it came out positive. I called my best friend and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm pregnant. I think I probably said it like that too. I wasn't like, honestly, I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm pregnant. I wasn't like sad, I wasn't mad, I wasn't overly excited either. I was just kind of like, oh, I'm pregnant. So I don't know, it was, I think maybe I was like, I guess I was in shock, maybe just because I didn't really have any specific emotion. I kind of was just like, oh, well, I'm pregnant. So yeah, when I found out I was pregnant, I kind of like, my mind went through like a series of thoughts. I went through two choices. I was like, either, you know, of course, either I can keep it or I can choose to have an abortion. So yeah, I definitely thought about the two. Honestly, I thought of abortion. It was very quick because I did think about it, but when it comes to like actually like practically doing it, I knew I could probably never ever do anything like that in my life, just because I know of people that have had abortions. And one, I've heard that it's really painful. I mean, I guess it depends on which route you go, but the one I heard of was really painful. And two, I just never like wanted to like live with that like possibility of regret, you know, like, oh, what if, and like this and that. And God knows, like, I literally have always wanted children. I like from forever, I've always been like, I want to have like 10 children. So I probably knew I couldn't like live with like, you know, aborting like this child. So so I definitely decided that, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna keep it. And another big factor in that decision was Derek was saying how so when he found out, when I texted him that I was pregnant, he was like on this leadership retreat with like church friends and stuff. And he told one of his friends that they were like driving back, and it was them two in the car, and he told him that I was pregnant, and his friend was like, okay, well, like, pull the car over so we can talk about it. And Derek said that he pulled the car over, and it just so happened that the car, this truck that he parked behind, had a bumper sticker that said, it said, children are a blessing from God, choose life. And so that was like kind of like a sign from God, or like a moment where we were for sure like, okay, you know, like this is it may not have been our ideal plan, but it was God's plan. So, you know, we're just gonna choose to have faith and, you know, not abort this little baby. So yeah, that was kind of like my first initial stage. So then it went into, and I'm gonna keep it, you know, like Derek, oh my gosh, Derek was so excited, like literally from like the very first day. Honestly, I'm gonna be quite honest, it took me like 4 months to actually get excited about having a baby, because, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. And Derek was excited from day one. He was like telling everyone, and he was like, he would just like tell all his friends, and we argued a lot about that, because I was like, Derek, like literally, I don't want you telling people, like, you know, I just want it to be between us for right now, like, because I realized that I needed time to figure out how I felt. Like, I didn't start telling people until like a few weeks ago, until I was 5 months. And I realized that I did that because for a while I wasn't sure how I felt about it, you know, like, yeah, I was keeping the baby, and, you know, yeah, I wanted to be excited, but it just, I didn't feel that way yet, you know, like I was afraid of like what other people were going to say, what they were going to think. And one thing I never wanted was for me to be unsure about my feelings about my child, and then let someone else's feelings about my child like dictate how I felt, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to tell people, because I didn't want, like, if, you know, we did receive negative feedback, or like other people's opinions weren't like happy things, I didn't want that to make me question my thoughts and my feelings. Like I said, before I tell people, especially people in the church, especially my family and stuff, I need to be 100% like, this is my child, this is my life, I'm happy about it, and nothing that anyone says or does is going to change that. And it took me 5 months to get there, but I got there, okay? So yeah, so once I reached that point, it really just like was just me like praying, and just like really trying to get clarification on it, because, you know, like the main thing was like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I'm a Christian, and people in the church like are supposed to like be looking up to me, and here I am like pregnant, and they're gonna be like, oh, like, you're not Christian, and you did this and you did that, and you're a sinner, and you, like, literally just all these things are going through my head all the time. And what was a turning point was one day I was just like, I don't know, I was just sitting somewhere and I realized, like, God showed me that he was like, Ariana, you know, you have psyched yourself out so much about what other people are going to say and what other people think, and never once did I say, God, what do you think? Or God, what is your opinion? Like, I never sought God for his opinion of who I was. I was always worried about other people, other men, other women, just other people's opinions. And I was like, man, God, like, you're right. Like, I never, you know, I was just so like consumed by what other people were gonna think. And so I decided to kind of get out of that phase and just, you know, be okay and just like be confident. Honestly, just be confident in my life and what God is doing for me and my testimony, you know, and just say like, hey, you know, like, people may not agree with it, people may have some things to say about it, but at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna care more about what God says about me than what someone else who doesn't even know me says about me, you know. So yeah, that was kind of like how my first trimester went. And just like just, you know, I really just needed to take a step back and remember who I am and whose I am. Honestly, I had forgotten that, and I'm just glad that God reminded me and I was able to just take a step back and not be consumed by that anymore. So I went to my first doctor's appointment at like 11 weeks, and honestly I was really nervous because Derek and he went to meet my family in Georgia in August, and excuse me, and you know, I had been drinking and all this stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was pregnant in August and I've been drinking like crazy, and I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, like, my baby is gonna come out deformed and it's gonna be my fault. And I mean, like, I'm gonna still love it, you know, but I was just like, man, like, I can't, like, I was really nervous. But I went to the doctor's appointment and everything was okay. She said that the baby is healthy and perfect. And yeah, so thank you, Jesus, because the Lord knows. So yeah, that's pretty much like my initial experiences with finding out I was pregnant, and just kind of like the whole roller coaster of emotion that I went through. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? Lately, my hormones, woo, goodness gracious, hormones are no joke during pregnancy. I am so blessed and lucky to have a man like Derek, because I don't know anyone else that would be able to just put up with me, you know. Like, it's like I'm already crazy, and now that I'm pregnant with hormones, I'm like crazy times 10. And he just like, he's just so patient and calm and caring and compassionate. And I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on my patience. But yeah, he's just the best, and I'm really appreciative for him, because pregnancy hormones will like have you thinking that you're crazy. I'm really emotional. Like, I was crying. I cry a lot. I already cry a lot without being pregnant, but now I cry like all the time. And like, there's this one time I cried because I just cry over like silly things. Like, one time Derek had I made quesadillas, and he ate his quesadillas in the living room, and I ate my quesadillas in the kitchen, and he didn't come eat his quesadillas in the kitchen with me. And I ended up crying about it that night, and like, not even like just crying, but like bawling, like, you didn't eat your quesadillas with me. Like, literally, I was in bed just like you would have thought someone killed my dog or something, and Derek's just like on his knees like, it's okay, I'm sorry. And like, in the moment, you know, I'm actually sad. Like, this feels like a very good reason to be sad. But then like days later, I think about it, I'm like, why was I crying about that? Like, literally. So that's new. What else is new? Pregnancy brain. That's something that I'm still trying to cope with, because pregnancy brain, let me tell you, is a real thing. I had this test. It was an online test I was supposed to take over Thanksgiving break, worth 20% of my grade, and I literally forgot to do it. And it wasn't even like, you know, I'm a smart, scholarly student, you know, like, I'm not just gonna choose not to take my test just because, you know, I didn't think about it. Like, I have a schedule online on Excel, and I literally put all my due dates and everything in because, like, you know, just in case I forget. And I remember I woke up, it was like 24 hours, and he kept saying, he's like, you're not gonna get any chances to retake this test. And so so I woke up Tuesday, a day after it passed, and I looked at my schedule because we didn't have school that Monday for some reason. I think it was like, I don't know, some holiday or something. And I realized I didn't take my test, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, literally, what have I just done? And so I was crying about that because I thought, I was like, well, I might as well just drop out of college now. I failed this test. I got a 0 toward 20% of my grade. I'm never going to make it. And I had to email him. Derek was like, well, why don't you just email him and see if there's something you can do? And I was like, he's not going to let me take it. And so I emailed him, and I was like, I pulled the due to pregnancy conditions, because honestly, it was due to pregnancy conditions. Like, I'm not making this up. And so he let me go in and retake it. Thank you, Jesus. And I ended up with a B in the class. But as far as the rest of, like, my pregnancy, I am currently 22 weeks today, actually. And my due date is April 24th, 2020. And Derek and I actually make a year on April 21st. So I thought it'd be cool if I was like, I gave birth like on our 1 year anniversary. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Let's see what else is on here. Marriage is definitely in the works for us. The funny thing is, we actually, so at the beginning of our relationship, I guess you can say we fell in love pretty quickly. And we talked about marriage before, like, we were sending engagement rings before, I want to say before we even had our first kiss. Like, we didn't have our first kiss until, I want to say, like 2 months, maybe 2 months into the relationship. And so yeah, I'm so happy that Derek is the one that I am having a child with, because, you know, in past relationships, of course, I thought like, oh, we're gonna get married and he's the one and I want to have children by him. And I just know, like, I'm so grateful that I didn't, because, you know, obviously I'm not with them and it would have never worked out. And so even though I am pregnant and not married, I know that, you know, marriage is gonna come down the line. Like, it's not a question at all, like, oh my gosh, do I want to spend the rest of my life with this person? Like, you know, because we were talking about marriage way before this was even a thought. So yeah, it's kind of just like, we don't want to just rush into it, you know, like, we don't want it to be like, oh, I'm pregnant, so let's hurry up and get married and, like, lose the value of marriage, you know, because it is still, like, a sacred thing and it's still, like, very important. So we're not in a rush. We want to prepare for it. We want to make sure that we go into our marriage set up the right way, meaning getting premarital counseling and just doing those things to prepare for marriage, because his pastor told us, I love this, he said, you know, it's easy to plan for a wedding. Like, anybody can plan a wedding, but not very many people plan their marriage. And I was like, ooh, that's good, because that's true, you know. Like, marriage, a wedding is one day, you know, but a marriage is for a lifetime. And so to put more thought and effort into planning that one day event versus a lifetime event, you know, we just wanted to do it the right way, and just make sure that we're prepared going into this marriage, especially now that there is a kid involved. You know, we don't want to just rush into it and be like, ooh, let's just get married, and, you know, not, because marriage is hard, marriage is tough, relationships are tough, so I know marriage is going to be 10 times harder. So yeah, we were wanting to get so yeah, we're going to do premarital counseling and eventually get married, but I don't know when. We're praying about it, and just when it happens, and you guys will know. So yeah. So for my registry, we have, So I created an Amazon one, Derek created a Target one, and I don't know if we're gonna do Walmart. I don't know, maybe we'll see, because oh my gosh, it was so hard and so time consuming creating one registry. So we may or may not do a Walmart one, but if you guys want, I can put the links down below, so that if you want to stop by and get me some baby clothes or something, you're welcome to. But yeah, so if you're feeling nice or giving, I will definitely put that in here, just because I know also people that know me that watch my videos may need the link or something in the future. So I'll just have it down in the description box below. Baby names. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, y'all don't even know when I'm having it. Okay, so drum roll please. It is a boy. Yes, we are having a little baby boy, and it's crazy because low-key I thought it was a girl. You know, I did like all those like tests and everything online, and I was low-key expecting a girl. But at the end of the day, I was like, honestly, I just want a healthy, beautiful baby that is, you know, born into God's kingdom. And at the end of the day, as long as it's healthy, I don't care if it's a boy or a girl. So yeah, we're having a baby boy. And honestly, okay, so we had our gender reveal, and Derek's mom came with us at our 5-month appointment. And so we didn't get like a full picture of the baby. We got like just the head, the face. And when we saw the face, I was like, oh yeah, this is a boy. Like, it looks just like Derek, y'all. Like, I don't know, that I was like, that's crazy. Like, it looks like a boy. It has boy features, but I'm so excited to like just see him and hold him like in person, you know, and just to see like what he looks like, you know. Like, I don't know. So yeah, as far as baby names, y'all pray for us, because we had a girl name, but we have struggled to agree on a boy name. Like, he doesn't like anything that I put out there, and I don't like anything he puts out there. So if y'all have like, so let me tell you, we're looking for like, I want a unique boy name that you don't hear every day, but also one that is like, you know, the substitute teacher can pronounce it, you know. So if y'all know any like cute manly boy names, leave them in the comments below, because we need all the help we can get, because it's gonna be April and this baby's not gonna have a name yet. So yeah, we're still working on the name. Hopefully by the baby shower we have settled on a name, because, you know, there's the first name and then there's a middle name, and that's just a process. So my baby shower, we have not even started planning that yet. And actually, I found out that you're not even supposed to plan your own baby shower. Someone else is supposed to plan it for you. But I don't know how that's gonna go, because I'm very like hands-on. Like, I need things to be the way I want them to, and I need to see it. So I don't know how that's gonna be, like someone else planning it, but we'll see. It's not even in the works yet. But we're thinking maybe like February or March-ish, somewhere around then is when we'll have our baby shower. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for this video. I'm like going down my little checklist of things to talk about. Like I said, if y'all are interested in seeing Derek and I do a question and answer video, leave a thumbs up or a comment below. And if y'all have any more questions that I did not answer in this video, leave them below so I can answer them in my next one. Or maybe not my next video, but you know, sometime down the line. I just want to say thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for understanding and being kind people and supportive people. It took a lot of courage to make this video, because like I said, sometimes I am still kind of like, ooh, like what are people gonna like think, and like, you know, like I'm afraid of like the negative like backlash that I could possibly get. But like I said, I wanted to make this video because you know, this is me, this is me, this is real. So yeah, I wanted to make this video because this is me, this is who I am. So yeah, so like I said, I just wanted to make this video because this is me, this is who I am. And I could easily sit up here and pretend to be this pretty perfect person, but literally the world does not need another pretty perfect person. We need real people who are willing to talk about real things, and I just want to be one of those people that can boldly sit here and talk about the not so pretty things, the not so perfect things, and just put my not so perfect life out there on the line, just in hopes that maybe someone else out there who will eventually watch this video is going through the same thing and is needing a little bit of encouragement. No one can live the life that God has for you, like every day that you wake up is another day to fulfill your purpose. And if you still have breath, then you still have purpose. Like if God woke you up for another day, there's a reason that you're supposed to be here, because God does not waste life. And so yeah, I'm just excited to see how this goes. I'm excited to keep y'all updated. I'm going to be doing more videos, like for instance on just like baby things that I have, baby pregnancy must-haves, and just like I'm excited to walk through this journey with you all and to see this channel grow and to see this family grow. And yeah, so it's definitely been a test of my faith lately, just because sometimes I'm like, I just want to crawl into a hole and not talk to anybody, not do anything. But God's like, how does that glorify me? So just trying to stand in boldness, stand in my faith, and, not allow anyone or anything to convince me that I'm less than, or that my faith is invalid because of my actions or because of life circumstances. Because at the end of the day, God wasn't like out here healing people who already have their life together. And I saw this saying, what did it say? It was like, God doesn't say, come to me all who are happy, rich, and living their best life. He says, come to me all who are brokenhearted and weary, and I will give you rest. And so just knowing that my imperfections is just a bigger platform for God's perfection is just like, it's what keeps me going throughout the day, and just knowing that at the end of the day, like, children are a blessing from God, and because this is something that unfortunately a lot of women would kill to have the opportunity to have a baby. And this is something that God has blessed me with. He's made my ovaries fruitful and given me the ability to bear children, which is an opportunity that not very many women get in their lifetime. And so it's definitely been a huge blessing to me, and I'm so grateful and happy. And literally, it's like the best feeling when you feel like the little baby kicks in your belly, because it's just crazy, it's like, oh my gosh, there's an actual human inside of me. Like, it's just amazing to think like God gave us life, and like he made us from the dirt and blew into us, and he has given women the ability to, with men, but women do most of the work. He's given women the ability to carry a child and give a child life and bring a child into this world, and it's definitely not something that I take for granted. And I'm super grateful and honored to just have the opportunity to bring a little baby boy into this world. I'm happy because at the end of the day, no one can tell me that this baby was not made out of love. Like, at the end of the day, Derek and I both know that, yeah, we made mistakes in the past, but bottom line is this baby was born out of love, and it's going to be born into love, and that's all that matters. But yeah, it's definitely a journey, because I admit I can get kind of like sucked into like comparison and looking at other people like married and having kids and, you know, saying like, oh, that's the way I was supposed to do it and I didn't do it the right way, and like, you know, God, I'm less than, and God's, you know, not happy with me because I didn't do it the way that you're supposed to do it. And there is no cookie cutter Christian. There is no perfect Christian. There is no perfect way to do life, because if there was, then we would not need Jesus. So just like accepting myself, learning to love myself and allowing God to love me through it has like been a game changer, and just like reminding myself that my worth is in Jesus Christ and Him alone, and you know, His words. The more that I find my identity in Him and not in other things of this world, the more confident I will be in myself. And that goes for anybody. So yeah, it's been a great journey. It's also been a rough journey. Definitely a test of faith, like I said, just because I know. So God's always told me, like, Ariana, like, you're gonna be a preacher, and it's just, you know how you know God said something, and you know, like, you know God said you're gonna do this and you're gonna be this, and you're kind of just like, where do the dots connect? Yeah, that's kind of been me lately, because one thing I know is like God's always said, like, you know, you're gonna be a preacher, you're gonna be a teacher of God's word, and I even more now, I've been doubting myself, because I was like, well, how am I gonna be a preacher and like this is my life, like no one can look up to me? And God said, He was like, you know, you can't preach on things that you haven't been through yourself. I'm only 21 years old, you know, like I have my whole life to have experiences and to learn and grow. And He was like, you know, if you're gonna be a preacher, you can't just have a perfect life and get up there and talk to broken people when you have a perfect life. You know, like, broken people need to understand and see other broken people get through it. That's how God's gonna get the glory, is by seeing people's messed up lives and seeing what God's power and what faith in Jesus can do for them. Like, you know, people need to know that you're not perfect. They need to know that, yeah, your life was a mess, but look at what God did for you. Maybe He can do the same for me. And so that just like helped me realize, you know, that's why I've had such a hard life. That's why I had to go through the abandonment, go through the physical, sexual, and verbal abuse. I had to go through the heartbreak and the depression, and I gotta go through premarital pregnancy. And, you know, it's just, I'm realizing it's all a part of my testimony, and at the end of the day, it doesn't make me any less of a Christian. It doesn't make you any less of a Christian if this is your situation as well. And, you know, as long as you continue to abide in Jesus and pray and obey and have faith in Him, that's all He asks of us. You'll just continue to see fruit from your life grow abundantly and abundantly. So yeah, my mouth is dry now because I've been talking so much, and that's pretty much all that I have for y'all in this video. Like I said, I will continue to keep you updated on everything. Maybe I might even take y'all with me on a doctor's appointment. I'm gonna have to sneak y'all in though, because they don't allow recording in the doctor's office, but it's good. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this video. Thank y'all for being amazing supporters. And like I said, the registry will be down in the description below. Leave any questions, comments, concerns down in the comments below. And I always reply. Or maybe not always, but I always try to reply. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for y'all in this video. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!